if Jeff don't shut when it comes time to tribal and all these competitions, you are going to be getting an immunity idol. But what comes with that immunity idol?
And an immunity idol.
And yes, an immunity idol, an immunity, whatever, same idol that's going to save your life, whatever idol it is, okay?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Survivor recap of Survivor 47. Now, because this is our new thing now, I know this with Tiffany. Before I introduce myself, I would like to introduce the icon, the legend, Mike Turner from Survivor 42,
Woo!
Who is also a runner-up. So we share that together.
We do have that in common.
We do have that in common. And also, I don't think people know you're also from Hoboken, New Jersey. And it's so funny because some people are like, is his name Hoboken? I'm like, no, that's where he's from. Which Tiffany thought it was like, is his last name Hoboken? I'm like, no, that's where he's from. But I'm your host, Derek F., a.k.a. Big D.
I'm your other host, Tiffany, and welcome, Mike. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining us on Royalty.
It's finally a pleasure to talk to you for the first time. Thank you. And Derek, we see each other all the time at all these different events, so we know each other good.
Oh. I'm so glad, and we do see each other all the time, and I cannot wait to see you, hopefully in April, I guess, for Pittsburgh. You know, that's our thing. Yes. So hopefully you do that. But Mike, I know you came back from a baseball game. Don't try to throw it in my face, okay? But I heard your team won, so I'll let you have your moment.
I need my moment. So, yeah, listen, obviously, I'm a Met fan since 68, which tells you one thing. I'm old. I'm very old, okay? And if you know Met fans, we're long and suffering. So tonight was a great night because we clinched the series against the Philadelphia Phillies, and we advance. And the Phillies go bye-bye back to Philadelphia.
Bye-bye, Philly.
Yeah.
But
really
Detroit
sad.
advanced today, too. Though. So they didn't advance. They won.
Oh, don't be telling her that. She don't watch baseball.
So in other words, it doesn't matter. I'm a winner. I just like to hear that I'm a winner. So Mike and I are winners. Derek's the loser.
Yes.
So
Poor Derek.
Poor Derek's tried.
It's really sad. Okay, so Mike, in case people don't know, please tell us about yourself. I know, like I said, Survivor 42. Tell us your experience. Give us a background about Mike, because I want people to know Mike Turner is probably one of my favorite people in this world. We cut up, and he's such a good time. But please.
Yes. So listen, man. The truth is, I'm just a city kid from Hoboken. I was born and raised in the projects, and I know nothing about the beach, the sand, or anything like that. But I've been a Survivor fan, which a lot of us. So, after season 40, I decided to take a shot and say, you know what? Because I've always think, anything I watch, I could do that better. I'm better than that. Especially when you watch Survivor, which a lot of people, you play really well from your couch. And I said, you know what? I'm going for it. And when my, kids, were done with school and I didn't have to worry about it, and I retired from my job, I put an application and I got called for season 42 of Survivor. And then it's one of those things yeah, I can do it. And then they say, hey, you're going to come and do it. I go, what? I'm like, I got to really do it? So, you get ready, man. And I got ready for Survivor season 42. And it was the experience of my life. It's one of those things where, Survivor does a lot of things. First of all, it introduces you to different cultures. Because in Hoboken, I'm from it's a big, small town. But I'm from the East, and I didn't know anybody from the West. I know anybody from the South, and even from other countries. And you get together and you meet all these different cultures, and you get to learn. So that was a great experience. But it also gives you the experience of looking within yourself to see if you are who you really think you are. And that was one of the main things I wanted to get out of being on Survivor. Is, I always knew who I was, and you think who you are. But the only time that you really find out who you are is when you have to persevere against very adverse conditions. And that's when you really know, are you the guy, when things are going bad, that you just snap and you don't do the right thing, or, when you have to be really loyal, you just say, screw it, I don't care. Yeah. Or do you live by, what your values are, and you kind of, Survivor does that for you, and it's the greatest game of chess ever played with human beings. So in every facet, Survivor has fulfilled everything that I thought it could be. And the beauty of it, no matter what, and I thought being on it would change my fandom towards it, But if anything, it's enhanced it. It's made it strong because now I understand it even better. And it's introduced me to a world that I never knew. Because like I thought like I was this big super fan. I'm a big super fan. And then when I was on it, I realized, I was a casual. I had no idea this whole world was going on with the podcast, with the fans. So I'm part of a whole new world that I friggin' love. I meet guys listen, Derek, when I met you and I was like, shit, that's Joe Frazier's son. Holy shit. And then you were so open and so, giving and just, welcoming. It was amazing.
Don't be telling people that I need to stay as a villain. I have to.
No, you're not a villain, man. You are
a sweet teddy bear. Yes, he is.
And then I went back and I had to watch your season because I didn't know much about Big Brother. I went back and watched your season. I was like, well, you can go play too. So all of it. I mean, it was amazing. So in a nutshell, Survivor has, I always like to say I'm on the back nine. I'm old. I was on Survivor when I was 57. I'm on the back nine, and it's opened up a whole new world to me that I didn't even know, and it's almost given me another,
another life
experience. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very humbled by the experience. So
I love to hear
that's really
that.
it.
I've heard so many wonderful things about you, like so many wonderful things, not just from Derek, but one of my really good friends, Nicole Layog, she was on Big Brother.
Yes.
She loves you to death. She's like, oh, Hoboken Mike and me and Hoboken. And I'm like, how do you even know him?
I know.
But,
I love Nicole.
The
Butcher Goddess.
Highly of you. Yeah, the Butcher Goddess. She speaks so highly of you. When I first saw you at Hearts of Reality, they're like, oh, I'm like, who's this guy walking around? Like, you're always walking fast. I don't know where you're going, but you're always walking fast. I thought you worked there. I was like, is he working here?
That's a Hoboken thing. We talk loud and we walk fast. We have to get to where we gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
true.
both. Yeah.
And let me tell you something. People don't know the most dangerous. I think me and Tiff are dangerous duos. That damn Mike and Jonathan together is the most I have never seen two peas in a pod. Literally, they are insane together, and I live for it. We
do have a lot of fun.
If you don't mind, if you can turn your mic up just a little bit.
Oh, I'm gonna turn my mic up?
Yeah, just a little bit.
What if I put it right
perfect.
here? Okay,
love that.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike, thank you so much for giving us that background. Let me ask you, Mike, as you said, you've been a super fan. Have you been keeping up with this season? Like, can you watch it? Like, some people don't watch Survivor after they do it, but are you currently watching this season at all?
Yes. Listen, I'm a Survivor fan deep down. That's it. That my core. I'm a Survivor fan. I may have played, but I'm a Survivor fan. The first season after my season was a little rough, only because you kind of get to see behind the curtain a little bit, But after that season, I became the fan again. I enjoy it, and I like to see things develop. So I never look at anything that's pregame. I don't want to know who the cast is. I don't want anything leaked. I like to watch the first episode. It's the first time I ever met these people in my life. And because to me, it's like a good game of Monopoly. When you play Monopoly, when you start out, it's kind of a little slow and you're just trying to get going. And then all of a sudden, midway, you start buying some hotels and some properties. And then by the end, it's like full blown. Like Monopoly's amazing. To me, that's a lot like Survivor when you watch. In the beginning, you're just getting to know people, feel them out, buy some properties. Mid-game, merge. You got the properties. Now you start investing in things. And then by the end, you're full. You're looking for Park Avenue. So it's
okay. So I got to get into your Monopoly because every time I play, I can't get past the first round. I'm like, this game is too long and too boring. So I have never, just so you know, played a full game of Monopoly ever in my life.
You don't know.
Never in my life. I know. I just like the little trinkets and stuff. Like I love the different trinkets. But I'm glad to know that.
Have you played Monopoly Deal with the cards?
No, what's that? I never.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
It's really fun. It's a fast game of Monopoly, but it's like Tunk and Monopoly at the same time. Because you have to get 3 sets of properties to win, but you can steal people's properties. You can.
Well, that does sound like fun. I like stealing properties. It's like stealing advantages.
Yeah, it's a fast game of Monopoly.
That's still an advantage. Mike, it's like everything goes back to Survivor when I'm playing any type of thing. Okay, so you've been keeping up. All right, let me ask you: is there anyone? And I also want to say this, Mike. We're the same way. Like we don't look at any of the spoilers, anything like that. Unfortunately, for Big Brother, for us, we had this thing called the live feed, so it gets
Oh my
spoiled.
God.
But I actually on the same journey with you. This was probably my first time that I fell back in love. This season is the first time I fell back in love with Big Brother, but that's because I had to make some boundaries. But let me ask you, Mike,
Right.
real quick. Who is somebody from this season that kind of stands out to you so far that you're like, I really do like? Is there anyone, and I know you might not know their names, but
Yeah,
I can
I know,
obviously try to let you know, or you can tell me what they look like, and I'll tell you who you're talking about.
No, wait. So now you're saying, do you mean when you say stand out? Do you mean stand out? I like them, or stand out that like, holy crap, I notice you? Or both.
What you think, Tiff? I think like if you like them, I guess.
This was your question.
I know, but now because he gave me two different ones, I need your
Well,
help.
what do you want to know? Do you
I
want
would love to know like who's a player that right now, after you watching a couple episodes, who's a player that you're like, this player is going to like really go far. You can see them going far.
That's a good specific question.
I like Teeny.
Teeny?
I love Teeny. I think she's
Okay.
that they are playing a great game.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Low key, but she's in the mix. She knows what's going on. She's got an alliance going. And you know what? When sometimes you just gravitate to somebody that's
Yes. Yes.
and I just gravitate to her. I just like her look. I like
Yes.
that she's being herself. I like that she's playing good. You know what? She's also a super fan. So everything about her I like a lot. So I don't know if that's good. Now
Name's not coming up as a vote.
Yeah.
yes,
kind of staying out the way a little
and
bit.
yet she's making contributions to where the game is going, which obviously is the way to go. You play. Listen, you know what today? The president is sometimes not the most important person in the room. It's the people that are running the president are the most important people in the room. And
Okay.
so that makes, Teeny looks like she's playing that type of game, which I love.
Okay, all right. Well, I also want to say shout out to Teeny. I did take the time to look up Teeny's pronouns. She does go by she, they, and he. So
Okay.
There's no way you don't have to feel
Okay,
like you
good,
did
good.
anything wrong because you did great, Mike. You didn't do
Yeah,
anything wrong. I saw you correct yourself. I was like, let me save you real quick. You're good. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I want to get into tonight's episode, okay? Tiffany, of course, I always love when you help me because this is always good. Okay, tonight's episode, we're on episode 4, is called Is That Blood in Your Hair? Okay. We start off with, we're back after, I think, is it Asha? Asha went home.
Asia.
Okay. Asia, thank you so much. Asia went home. What am I over here calling? Asha. Asia goes home, and the tribe is kind of like a little bit like what's going on. Soul is definitely left out of the vote at this point, but I want to cut to Soul trying to figure out who voted for him, and then he finds out that Teeny voted for him. Teeny is letting him know, hey, I'm voting for you because there was no way I could vote for Asia. There was no way, like my heart is with her, like I really do care about her. But Soul realized, okay, I'm really on the outskirts, okay? Rome makes it clear, icon to Rome, as he calls himself, which I think we all feel the same way. He says that
I love Rome. You need a Rome.
I guess we do, but I'm not gonna lie, he's wearing me out. And when you hear about this episode, and when you go back and watch it, even though I'm subscribing him, Mike, you need to go back and like, I'm tired of him. I'm not gonna lie.
I got some notes.
Okay,
Listen,
thank you.
Rome
Tiff,
is
'cause I know
burning.
you. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Tiff, you just went. Yeah, where'd you go, girl? Okay. So we cut to the Yellow Tribe, Gotta Tribe, as I like to call it. Sam comes up with this perfect rap. I don't know why Sam think he's a rapper, but I'm gonna try to explain how the rap went. He said, "We win again. Jeff not gonna get us in the tribe. We gonna win because we the tribe." I don't know what he was doing, but Sam was not on beat. There was no flow, and you could tell they're really bored. Now, Mike, if I'm correct, is it really that boring there? Like, are you really that bored on that island?
I'm going to tell you right now, no way are you ever bored, or should you be bored? Because even if you're not doing anything, you should be playing the game in your head, going through the evolutions of every player with you. There's so much to think about out there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he shouldn't be rapping either.
Oh, he definitely should not be rapping.
And we have a good friend that would agree with that. Wendell's
I
like,
know.
stop rapping, man. You can't rap.
Wendell would definitely say stop rapping like he did when he was on Survivor, which
Yes.
I need that meme ASAP.
Yes.
I want to also talk about what's happening in the Yellow Tribe. I try to do colors, Mike, because you know
I'm good. Listen, I'm with you.
and okay.
I'm not good with
Sierra. Yeah, Sierra ensures Monica, aka Annika, that Rachel and her are working together. They are an all-girls alliance. They are called the Breadwinner Alliance. Okay, I think Rachel comes up with this name. Because Sierra is playing the game. Sierra wants to make sure everybody know I'm with you. Like, she wants to make sure she's good on everywhere in the tribe. Okay, I want to cut to Sue. All right, the icon who I love, Sue. Do you like Sue? Does everybody else like Sue?
I like
How could you not love Sue? Think about what she's doing. And
She's
listen,
everything.
She's 59 years old. She's in my category. So anybody that's out there at that age doing it, respect.
Hey, Mike,
Respect.
I'm old too. Okay, I want some respect too.
Yes.
Don't play your age like you played on Big Brother, Tim. So
21, but
Sue
No one
is
asked.
also, speaking of ages, Sue just also reassures that she tells the tribe, they're like, oh, what's going on? She's having a little bit of a moment, but it's also feels like it's a part of her game to make it seem like she's kind of a little bit weak, or she really can't do much. But Sue tells the tribe, she tells Kyle, just to let you know, I'm 45 years old when Sue's actually. Mike, did you say she was 59?
59. I'm almost positive she's 59.
I thought she was 54.
We have
Maybe
to
I got it wrong.
fact check that.
Okay, I could
I'm
be.
fact checking right now. Keep going.
I could be wrong, but she wants everyone to understand that she's unestimated. Okay.
Wait. She said she was 45?
She told Kyle tonight that she is 45 years old. She doesn't want anybody to know what she could really do. She don't want people to know that she's like is it called an adrenaline junkie? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like
She's 50.
really.
She's a 59-year-old
Boom.
flight student owner.
Okay. Yeah, she
Like
doesn't
school,
want anybody to
I'm
know
sorry.
that. Yeah, she don't want anybody to know that, she's
59.
Okay. So she really wants people to understand, like, she's like, I you don't see me as a threat. But Sue decides she's been going on walks. She's been trying to find the idols. She's been trying to look. And lo and behold, she finds a beware advantage. This beware advantage, okay, Mike, are you ready? 'Cause
I know this one. Go ahead.
This is wild. This beware advantage. She noticed it. It tells her where she has to go. She's like, oh, I know where that tree is. She finds the tree. She's like, it's going towards the well. And she has to cut this rope down. Okay? The idol's up in the tree. But she cuts this rope. And when she hits this rope, I guess a coconut falls with paint in it. And there's paint everywhere. Red paint everywhere. Like, to the point that it's like, you can't hide this. You can't.
No.
It's impossible to hide this. Let me tell you something. This is the most craziest. I thought before, with them having to open 3 and 2 boxes to get an idol, this hands down, I think, is the worst way to find an idol.
Right now, you do know this happened on our season.
Oh,
It
really?
did?
Well, not in the same exact way, but Drea found an advantage, and she had to stick her hand, and the red paint went all over the place.
That's right.
That's when she got caught red-handed.
I forgot. I'm so sorry. You're right. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I think because this was so dramatic because of how it
Right.
it went everywhere, all over the trees,
And you don't
everywhere.
expect that
And
to happen.
no, I would never think that. So I'm sitting over here. I'm not gonna lie. I sat up in my chair. I was like, oh my God, what are you gonna do, Sue? Like, this is wild. So she got it all over her. It's in our hip. It was so bad, but she did manage to clean it up. Am I right about that, Tiff? I mean,
Well, I was going to say, I'm glad that you explained that to me because I was late turning Survivor on. And when I turn it on, I see Sue at the well with this machete. And she's like, there are 2 people talking to her.
Tiana and Caroline.
Yes. And I'm like this. In my notes, it says, Sue's got scratches on her chin, blood on her hands. She's covered in blood with a machete. I did not know what was going on. All I know is I turned my TV on and Sue was scratched up and covered in blood.
Yeah, so she really did. Let me tell you something. This paint was so all over the place. She was getting buckets of water, trying to clean it. She's trying to sweep it to the side. She's taking trees to try to brush it up. She's trying to get dirt. She's picking up dirt and trying to make it work. Then she's also trying to clean herself off. This paint is everywhere. It's over her hands and her hair. It's on her everywhere. So when they walked up, I was surprised of how much she cleaned because guess what? There was nothing on the ground. You would have to really look. Like you had to be like really looking, but because she still had that mark on her cheek and the red on her tips and her hands, she tried to cover her hands with dirt. They were like, "What? Are you okay?" But I gotta give it to Sue because she did the best she could, and I think she said in this episode, to be honest, she's like, "Oh, I bit my tongue."
Did she say that?
Everywhere. She did. She goes, "I bit my tongue." Where I probably would have said something like, "Oh, I did fall."
Yeah.
Because they said, "Did you fall?" I was like, I fell.
But then you'd be like, well, where'd you fall? Because I want to see the blood. But if the blood's in my mouth and it was on my tongue, you don't want to see that. It was a good. That's a good lie.
That is a good lie. It is a good lie. So I want to.
She adapted.
She did.
She did.
She adapted.
She did. I think it's wild that they do that. I couldn't. When this coconut, I'm still talking about it. But when this coconut fell, I was like, game over for Sue. That somebody's walking up. She just looked at it. I was looking at it too with her. I was looking at it like, girl, what you gonna do? Like, I couldn't believe it. But she did really well with covering up. So I'm gonna cut to Lava, the Red Tribe. Soul and Romeo are looking for the idol. Remember, Romeo did play his idol. He had to play his idol.
Okay, sir. His name is just Rome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Romeo was on my season.
Yikes. Okay. Mike, ignore my notes. Ignore my notes, Mike.
Derek said Romeo and Juliet is Genevieve.
Yep, because that's coming up next too, Genevieve. So thank you for telling me now. So Saul and Rome are searching for an idol. Rome played the idol last time. He's like, I gotta find it again, and Saul definitely knows he needs to find it because he's on the bottom of the pack. Romeo critiques Saul and says, Rome critiques Saul, basically saying, I don't know why you would look for one. You're just putting a target on your back. Now, I'm going to say this, Mike. In this episode, and I think, Tiff, please correct me if I'm wrong, I felt like Rome, it was getting very bullyish. Is that the right word or no? Like, did it really?
Yeah.
He was getting very, like, because, Mike, could you imagine if you were like, I'm going to go look for an idol, but somebody is constantly, like, telling you, I don't know, are you wasting your time? Like, you going home anyway? Like, it was just getting a little bit too much.
Even more so than the conversation of, I don't know why you're looking for it. Rome literally followed Saul all around the island. He would not leave his sight. Saul said, can I just get a minute to myself? And he was like, you can, but I'm going to sit over here with you. He's like, I'm just going to sit on the beach and do nothing. And Rome says, that's fine. I'll just sit over here and watch you. Can I use the back? Like, and Saul is like, I can't believe that this person is like tagging along behind me like a wart on my ass. And he is like not letting him get a minute to breathe.
And even though we're obviously out there playing for $1 million, there's always got to be some sense of respect. At least a little.
There was none.
Right, and it's a little bit. And once you cross those boundaries, you kind of become a person like, honestly, and here's the thing I always think is, don't they think I look bad what I'm doing here? Don't I look bad? And like, but then maybe they don't care what people think, and maybe you shouldn't care what people think, but I always think that you have to have a level of respect for yourself, for the game, for people, just the way you should be.
I mean, to constantly follow him around.
Hard, but there's got to be some sort of level of respect.
Yeah, it was almost verging on harassment.
Yeah.
Like, he would not give him a minute to himself. Like, to follow, I don't know in that scenario, if I would have been able to maintain my cool if I was Saul, because don't infringe upon my personal space. I already don't have any. I'm already living on an island with everyone. I have no personal to myself, but like literally you won't give me a minute to myself. I don't know. I might have gone home.
Yeah.
And I think so. Also, you can tell in Tiff, if you could tell you, I think you felt this. Soul felt like he kind of wanted to break character sometimes. It turns to the camera like, is this real? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, is this harassment? Like,
Yeah. Like, can he do this?
Can he do this? Should I go talk
Yeah.
to production? Because that's what he was giving. Like, he would stop and kind of want to look at the camera and then be like, what's up? Like, what is this? Like,
Nobody's gonna say anything to this guy.
No, of course. And then Keyshawn, I want to kind of point out Keyshawn. Keyshawn's stirring the pot. I'm not mad at it. He's kind of like hyping Soul up, then hyping Rome up, then hyping Soul up. Like, he's like making sure they, still target each other because he's like, this is a great position.
And to be fair, to that,
Yeah.
It's kind of what you do, because the truth is, the more people are going against each other, they forget about you, and you can make a stronger base for yourself in the game. So I get it. Listen, the truth is, you're out there playing the game, and unless you're, like, again, being totally disrespectful, I see two people kind of bickering a little bit. The more they bicker, it's better for my game.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's conquer and divide. I mean, divide and conquer. You let them go against each other, and now you're talking to both of them, and they both want you to be an ally. So it's kind of the way you play the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Genevieve and Soul form an alliance. They're saying, hey, we're going to look out for each other. She kind of feels bad because she's like, Rome, he's doing a lot. They're all realizing Rome's doing a lot. So they come up with an alliance. I'm going to cut to the Yellow Tribe. Andy, Andy, what's your thoughts on Andy, Mike? Okay, Andy is the one who is, I think you can't forget him, but he was the one who, okay, you know who I'm talking about.
Of course.
What's your thoughts on Andy from the Gada tribe? Got it. That sounds great.
Yeah, you know what? Very rarely am I at a loss for words. I'm trying to say this in the most delicate way because I think you should always be respectful.
Yeah.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, what the hell is he thinking? I mean, what? And listen, he's probably a great guy. I met him. He seems lovely and a person. But you're going on Survivor.
Yeah.
You're being out there. Like, you've probably laughed at people like you that have been on.
Like you.
And
Of course.
you would say to yourself, I definitely ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He did. And I don't know. I don't even know where to go. I almost think, like, did he even understand the game?
I know.
So,
I felt the same.
Go ahead, Tiff. Yeah, I was going to, go ahead, Tiff.
That's it.
Oh, I was just gonna say when I tell you what he does the night, you're probably.
I didn't see it though. Like,
I know that's
I'm
why
afraid.
I'm glad you're
afraid for him.
Don't be afraid. I promise you. But Andy is clumsy. Okay.
First of all, he's off somewhere.
Yes, he's off somewhere.
He's off somewhere, and his belongings are at camp.
His belongings at camp, and his shot in the dark falls out his bag, and they find it, and they're just like, oh. I mean, technically, he kind of lost it, and I think it was Sierra. Who was just kind of like threw it in like the
bamboo where they lay.
And where they lay, just so they can just like in case he's looking for it one time and he loses it. But the thing that kills me about Andy, I am kind of now wondering, is this a part of his game? Like, is he playing like this, or is he really like this?
Well, then the joke is on me too, because I believe him. He would have got me.
Let me tell you what he did. Mike, Andy. He not only did he drop his shot in the dark, he ripped his underwear. He flipped over a boat trying to jump out of it while someone else was in it, and he was just supposed to be jumping out of the boat. He jumps out of the boat and flips the boat over with the person in it. He loses his shot in the dark again. He found it. Somebody was kind enough. Was it Teeny? Who told him?
Sam, because Sam's the only person.
Sam.
I think you know this.
Right. That's
Sam.
Well, I don't know if Sam is his ally, but he thinks Sam's his ally.
Yeah.
Well, he's making it clear that Andy's like his person, or as he's saying.
I'd make
I
Andy
feel
my
sorry for
person
Sam,
too.
Because he's gonna sink that ship.
He grabs Andy and tells him, like, you lost your shot in the dark. Andy gets his shot in the dark. Andy's off walking with someone, and he goes, my shot in the dark fell out of my bag again.
You almost think like when you're watching this, you gotta be thinking to yourself, here's the crazy thing. He's still in the game. Think about that. He's still in the game.
Yeah, he should have been out that first week.
No,
Yeah,
Mike, but I would keep him too. Right?
You think he's the non-threat, but those are the people that sometimes they turn it around. You turn the game around, and they're like, they stay so long that they will end up getting better while the good people are getting kicked out, and they're the best of the worst. You don't know.
Because tonight's episode made me question. I go, is this a part of his, like, is he playing goofy just to be like...
No, in a nice way. I think he's goofy.
Well, if he is, he's an expert.
True. Not an expert. We get to the immunity challenge. And this is, I'm going to try to break this challenge down to you.
I'm so sorry to
please,
interrupt.
please. Go ahead.
But just before we get to the immunity challenge, Andy, we're still on Andy. Andy tells Sam that Sierra told him about the girls' breadwinners alliance. And Sam is totally pissed because Sam thinks that him and Sierra are like this. And so he wants to know, why would Sierra tell Andy that the girls have an alliance called the breadwinners and not me? So then Sam kind of confronts Sierra about it, and she's like, I didn't name it, I didn't come up with it. And he's like, yeah, but why'd you tell Andy? She's like, I don't care about Andy. And he's like, but you didn't tell me. She's like, well, I didn't come up with it. And so they're arguing back and forth, but I think they're like, she says like an old married couple, or somebody says like an old married couple, and they sound like an old married couple.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and it's the little things you have to listen to. She didn't say it's not true. She says, I didn't name the alliance, which means you did know about it.
Yeah.
You were part of it, and you still didn't. Like, even if you didn't start it and you said, I don't want to be a part of it, you should have told me, hey, they're trying to make it this alliance, and they're not including you. So at that point, you got to question, is she really my person in this game?
He did say that. He did.
Yeah.
He did
Yeah.
question it.
He
questioned it because he's like, but still, you didn't tell me. But not only did you not tell me, but you told Andy.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me.
Which,
and Andy's
listen,
like, oh my gosh, she trusts me. This is exactly what I
There's three forms of
want.
communication: telephone, telegraph, and tele Andy. You can't do it.
I love that. That is great. Oh my God. People need to steal that. That is wonderful. And I agree.
I stole that too, by the way.
Oh,
Great.
That's cute.
Perfect.
Thanks for bringing it over here.
We appreciate it. We needed that. But I will say this, I agree with Tiffany. Like, you know, it's you tell Andy, you gotta tell your person. And the crazy part is that I really think that Sam and Sierra have a great open like relationship where they are like, you are my person. And you can see that in the game, which is nice. Because sometimes we think we see it, but we really don't. Like, they're really like, yo, my whole guard's down. There's nothing up I'm trying to lie to you about.
I think she was just trying to build some trust with Andy. I don't think her telling him the breadwinners actually meant anything to her. She was just trying to give him a crumb, a nugget, or something to feel that he was close to her, like they were building some trust. But it kind of, his person is Sam, so he just went and ran right to Sam about it. But
And you know,
anyway.
the truth from what we see so far, Andy is the kind of person that needs that kind of reassurance of, hey, you're great at opening coconuts. Hey, let me tell you so you think you're part of it. So he can at least be minimized as to what he might do to cause more problems for you. Which is honestly, besides playing the game, is a lot of work to have to do that.
It's a lot of work. Andy's like a pre-K kid.
Yeah.
You gotta keep on telling them constantly, like, you're doing great, Johnny. You're doing so good. You're coloring within the line. You're good. You're smart. Like,
what
you
a
gotta
great
keep
player
on
you
telling.
are.
What a great player you are. Wow, look at that catch you
Yeah.
did. Wow, you look at that. You didn't pee on yourself. We love that. Great job. Like,
a lot of
you
work.
wash your hands. Great. You wash your hands. We love that, little Johnny. Like, I was a camp director, so it's like I feel like I would have to talk to Andy like he was a little kid. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
Straight up.
And I gotta be honest with you, I'm the kind I would just said, I can't deal with that anymore.
No,
I can't deal with him.
raise
I
my
would-
kids.
I got too much
I'm
to
not
think
gonna
about. I
lie.
gotta worry about you.
I'm praying to the Survivor gods that Andy and Sue end up together some type of way, because I feel like Sue ain't got no
patience
for Andy. She really gonna let him have it if they make it that far. We get to the immunity challenge. I'm gonna try to break this down. The tribe has to roll a square.
A heavy cube.
A heavy cube. Thank you so much. Once they get to a certain distance, they gotta climb the checkpoint. They gotta climb on the cube, grab 2 bags, and then drop them down. Then only one person has to build like a target. It's like a rectangle. They have to build a target, and then take 2 of the sandbags. They're like really small. You know, the things they toss.
Yeah.
Onto a wheelbarrow.
Toss it through the target onto the wheelbarrow. It has to land.
Yes, it has to land. And then once they get through that, then the whole team has to pick up sandbags from a circle, put it on a platform, and then once they pick up the heavy sandbags, once it's all cleared out, they could dig, and then they'll reach for their final key to get them to the puzzle. Okay? Yeah. Now, I want to talk to us about who is working the puzzle. And Mike, keep in mind, all 3 tribes, back to back, they were all together.
Yeah.
There was no one still left behind. They were all together. Yeah. Actually,
so it was a competitive game. It was one of those ones where everybody was close.
Yeah. It was anybody could win it. Right now, Lavo kind of always was in the lead, but the other 2 tribes were directly behind Lavo each time, so it wasn't a great lead.
Guys, just so you know, listening right here, I am very excited about seeing this episode.
Oh, great!
I'm not even kidding. I can't wait. I'm going to skip and watch this episode. It sounds an amazing episode.
It's a great episode.
It's a great episode. But good. That means our recap is going well.
It's going great, because I'm even saying, I got to get in and watch this thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to keep you too long, so we'll try to get through it fast so you can watch it.
You need. I love it here.
The participants that are working on the puzzle from the Blue Tribe is Carolyn and Gabe. Mr. Icon himself, Captain America, or whatever you want to call him, Rome, and Genevieve. And then we have from the Yellow Tribe, Rachel and AKA Anika. Okay? Annika, like Monica, Annika. Okay.
Potato, tomato, Annika, it's all good.
No, I got to get it right, because Tiffany kicking my butt. She tells me I got to get people's names right if I'm going to be recapping. So yes, Monica, aka Annika. That's how I like to do it. So I also want to point this out. Rachel, she's a puzzle master. I just want to say that. Okay. Now this is a puzzle they got to build. Is it a tree? What is it, Tiff?
It's a vertical puzzle. So
yes, it's a vertical, small.
They have to build it up, and it does. Yes. It kind of looks like a tree. Of course, it's 3D. You're fitting them in. You're sliding them in.
That's the new thing now. It seems like all the puzzles are going to be like 3D, like type of hard puzzles. I think that's the thing, Mike. Like I don't think
essentially it does. It kind of looks like a tree as it forms.
Yes. So Yellow Tribe doing great. Tiff, jump in any second. Blue Tribe doing great. Now I want to get to the star.
First, I want to say that Lavo, Red Tribe, Rome, and Genevieve got to their puzzle first. Okay. But as they are working on their puzzle, but have yet to find one piece, the other 2 tribes have actually started building their puzzles. So they've got like 5 and 7 pieces going, and Rome and Genevieve have not a piece yet while they're building. Go ahead, Derek.
And I want to explain this to you, give you this picture, right? Mike, could you imagine that I decided to sit on the floor in front of the puzzle?
So he's Rome and I'm Genevieve.
Yep.
And what our strategy is that I'm going to hand you piece by piece for you to try on the first, because you have to get that first piece in. It's not laying down, so you have to get the first piece in before you can move forward. So the strategy is Rome doesn't decide, just give me a few pieces so I can try them. Rome is taking one piece and flipping it every which way, 4 and 5 ways. It doesn't fit. Saul's in the back saying, That's not the piece. That's not it.
Not the
but
piece.
Rome is going to try it regardless. The
Yes.
colors don't match at all. There is no two patterns that look like it connects. There is not even a shape that looks like it fits this part. But he's going to try each side of one piece by piece, as Genevieve gives it to him. Each piece she gives him does not fit. And now both Gata and Tuku have half of their puzzle filled, and Rome and Genevieve still have not gotten one piece.
Didn't get one puzzle piece. And when you watch this, and the viewers that have already watched it, you cannot tell me that Rome did not throw this challenge. If you can see it,
Did
then
he throw it?
He didn't.
If so, I'm sorry to say.
His ego got to him. I don't believe he threw it. I don't believe he threw it at all.
Okay. Well, he's really not all up in there, because you can't put one. You couldn't figure out one puzzle piece, and then also
No, he never got to it. He didn't. Their strategy.
Yeah, the strategy was whack. He should have got up and started looking at pieces. She should have tried. He should have tried. They should have went back and forth.
At some point, in between Rome and Genevieve trying to find the first puzzle piece, Gata wins. Here's Jeff. And Gata wins. Meanwhile, Rome has not gotten one piece. Trying piece after piece. No assessments made. No change. No re-strategizing. No changing places. No effort to reevaluate the situation. Just a puzzle that ended the same way it started. Like it never happened. Jeff says, like a puzzle. He says, a puzzle that ended the same way it started. Like it never happened.
That's
agreed.
Listen, so I'm sorry, Derek. I jumped ahead. Gata won immunity first.
You're fine. Yes, please.
Then Tuku wins immunity shortly after. Mm-hmm. And Rome and Genevieve still never got
a piece.
One piece of this puzzle. And and Rome never said, okay, I'm going to switch with you. You try. They're saying in the back, like, do you want to switch? Even Jeff is saying, like, I don't see it's change in strategy. Rome doesn't take that as a cue to say, you know, I'll change strategy. And then it's to me, it was just all ego. I don't think he threw it. I think he was that egotistical to think that, well, once we got to the point where I didn't get a piece and they were going so fast, there was nothing that Genevieve could have come and done differently than what I was doing. All she was going to do was try each piece like me. So I might as well sit here and try each piece.
You know what that's called? Not having any self-awareness. He just thinks whatever he thinks is the right way, and there's no room for anybody else to have a thought that may make sense. And that's a scary player.
I agree with
you. If
you
he's on
on
your
that.
team, scary player.
Yes, and it also asked to switch with him. But Jeff does ask them those questions. Also, because Yellow Tribe did win, Gata Tribe, they get a chance to pick. It's time to send people on the journey, okay? They do pick, Caroline to go on the journey from Tiku. They pick Teeny to go on the journey, and then they pick Andy to go on the journey. So all three of them are going on the journey, okay? Just to let you know what the prize was to win. The first team that comes in gets chickens, and of course the chickens will lay eggs. Second team will just get eggs, and then of course the third team is nothing.
That's known as the losers.
Yes. So we cut to the Lavo tribe, okay, which is the red team that lost. Rome and Keyshawn hatch a plan to target Genevieve, but this was really Keyshawn's plan. The plan was to tell Soul that, hey, we're gonna get rid of Genevieve, but you gotta give me Rome. This is all what Rome wants. You gotta give me your shot in the dark in order to, I know for you to, to trust me. You gotta give me your shot in the dark. And he's like, I'm gonna go over and go tell him, threaten him. However, okay, and this little ass man goes over there, sits next to Soul, and he's like, look, this was going to happen. we're going to get rid of Genevieve, but you got to give me your shot in the dark. And just in case you don't want to give me your shot in the dark, I want you to know I can steal your vote. So I was like, what? What? Like, first of all, why are you talking to me like this? And second of all, I'm not giving you my shot in the dark. Are you serious? And he's like, are you threatening me? He's
No,
like,
I'm
it's
not
not
threatening you. It's an ultimatum.
It's an ultimatum. It's crazy how the way that Rome's acting is wild. Wait till you see it. You might jump to the TV. It's wild.
Saul said he'd never had a man of Rome's size ever speak to him in that manner before.
Imagine that.
It couldn't be me. That's when the Philly would have came right out.
I mean,
I would have been like, fuck this show. Bop.
It was very confrontational. You know, the way he was talking to him, he pretty much was like punked him, like, hey, and pulled his advantage out and was like, hey, look, it says right here, da 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 da. I can still vote. And if you don't give me your shot in the dark, I'm letting you know right now, I'm going to steal your vote and you're going to go home. Mm-hmm. And Saul's like, I don't appreciate the way you're coming at me, talking to me. Like, you're threatening me, and I'm not threatening you, but I am giving you an ultimatum. So whatever. And then like pretty much walks off.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I want to get to also in this moment, you know, because of everything that Rome is doing, Keyshawn has a conversation with Genevieve about voting out Rome. They're like, let's just like get out Rome because look at all the stuff he's doing. And Keyshawn also is playing the game. He wants to make these moves because he knows it's going to look good for him. So he's like coming up with that plan.
And he's tired of Rome with this. This is the Rome show.
Yeah, we're tired of Rome with the.
It's
Rome
tiring.
Show. It is tiring, and you probably gonna turn your TV off. That's how tired it is for this episode. So the trio on the journey, as I mentioned, were Caroline, Teeny, and Andy. And I'm definitely gonna need your help with this, Mike, because I'm gonna try my best to explain the same thing to please. But they talk a little bit. The only thing that was spilled was, you know, Teeny was letting them know about the Rome and Sal, you know, feud, ego they're having back and forth. Everybody else then kind of, Andy did pretty good. Andy didn't really spill anything. He was just trying to, you know, cover up and show a different Andy. He's like, I'm not that person. I'm at the bottom of his tribe. And, you know, Caroline didn't give anything either. But they have to agree. The way this power works is that they have to agree all together that one person will lose their vote tonight at the next tribal. I think it's tonight, right? The next tribal.
Their next tribal or at the next tribal?
At the next tribal. So Teeny, keep in mind, Teeny's going into tribal tonight. So the other two should be the two to give up their vote. But if they agree that one person gives up their vote, they will get the is it called the what is it
amulet.
called? The amulet. I can't say
amulet.
That.
Where they each get a piece of it, and they get.
Well, they get one. They each three get a piece of an amulet that is only active when all three of them agree upon who they're going to use it on after the merge. So if only two of them make it and they have two pieces, those two have to agree, and if it's only one, it becomes an immunity idol.
Yeah, we had that in our season too.
Okay, thank you.
They have to agree on who's going to lose their vote by the time the sand runs out, and no one really wants to do it.
Nobody wants to, especially Teeny. She's like, I don't even know. So then Teeny's kind of like, oh, you know, like, I do trust my numbers. I do trust the people in my tribe. And right before she was about to talk, they did cut to Carolyn. Carolyn was about to say she was going to do it. But Teeny already said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So if she would have just waited just a little bit longer, just a second, Carolyn was going to say it. So Teeny loses her vote.
So remind you, Mike, when Teeny's thinking, you know, with this going on, Teeny is going to tribal. She will possibly not have a vote, but now we know she doesn't have a vote. And then Rome is threatening to steal a vote. And then there are only, 5 people on their tribe. Yeah. So
the vote is valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's only 3 votes. Really,
if you remember, Mike, that's how we lost Jenny. Losing votes.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah. Losing a vote means a big deal, especially if you're going into Tribe. I would have sat there and said, "I guess we're going to have to run this stand out because I'm going to Tribe, so there's no way I can lose
Yeah.
my vote. You
I gotta
guys can
protect
lose
myself.
your vote." Yeah,
Right.
it's crazy. So we get back to Lavo, Red Tribe. Keyshawn updates Teeny, let him know, "Hey, we're going to vote out Rome. This is the plan." Rome tells Genevieve, "Just so you know, hey, I've already talked to Sal. I've already threatened him. I already let him know I'm the big shot. I'm running it. Okay, because I'm Rome." He lets Genevieve knows that, hey, just so you know, we use your name as the person that we're going to, tell him that we're voting out. So she's kind of like, okay, why are we using my name and not nobody else's name? She don't like that. So then she goes into like a
He
deep
told
thought.
her. He said, "Well,
Yeah.
Keyshawn gave your name."
Correct. Keyshawn
Not
gave
in
me
a,
the name.
and then he does stand up for Keyshawn. He's like, and not in a threatening way, like he was really trying to put it on you. Of course, he just doesn't want to say his name, but he was just saying Genevieve because we know we're not going to vote you, and that
Yeah.
started her thoughts to spiraling about why was Keyshawn so comfortable saying Genevieve as if it would have no repercussions, and he also has come up with this master plan to flip the vote onto Rome and has rallied up the troops, and that's everyone's plan. She's like, this only benefits, whoever it benefits, it doesn't benefit her to lose Rome, because no matter how chaotic he is to everyone else, he's not wreaking any havoc on her. And she's like, right, for now. So she starts weighing the options of, does this benefit me to vote out Rome? And then she ends up telling Rome that Keyshawn came up with a plan, Rome, to get you out.
out.
And everybody knows it.
It
and
sounds like a
you
good episode.
Are actually the vote.
And it's
Yeah.
all right before they're about to this is like they grab their torches. She's telling Rome this, and then Rome's like does the whole like, okay, I gotta go apologize to Sal, and he's trying to apologize to Sal, and Sal's like, there's no way I'm not writing Rome. Like, I have to write Rome. I don't care.
Yep.
I have to play my shot of dart or I'm writing Rome. Like, it is what it is. And Genevieve's like, no, we got to get our Keyshawn. And they're cutting it.
It was
Keyshawn,
the
I feel so
weakest
bad.
apology, though.
It was the weakest apology.
He was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Saul, I know I said I kind of came at you hard today about that. I didn't really mean it like that.
I'm not
I'm
that
sorry."
person. I'm not like that at home. People know who I am. I'm not like that. His apology was bullshit. And it's sad because they cut to Keyshawn just like, this is fun. I'm having a good time. Like, Keyshawn thinks
Yeah.
has a smile.
Keyshawn smile. He think nothing's happening
safe.
to him.
He's like this.
He's like, great. We're going. Teeny, same thing. Teeny think they're going into Tribe. Everybody thinking they're about to turn on Rome. Okay, we get to Tribe, and Lomativ explains it. We get to Tribe, and Jeff confronts Rome about his lack of effort doing the puzzle challenge.
And Jeff says to Rome, in his exact words, "I've never seen anything like it."
That's so
And
cool.
Damn.
I love Jeff.
Jeff has
Gotta
been
love
doing this
Jeff.
show for 47 seasons, and you gonna try to tell me that there's something Jeff ain't never seen before in Rome, and it's you trying to put a puzzle together, and that was the best you could do was nothing?
Oh my God.
Mike, do you think that Jeff over the years has got more vicious?
No, I think he's gotten nicer. The old shows, man, he was rough.
I love it.
Really?
Bring back
Yeah.
I
old
like
Jeff.
tough Jeff.
I feel like he's
rough.
such a savage.
You
I
watch some
love
old
it.
shows, man. He was rough. He seemed nicer when the new era came out, but now he's starting to bite a little bit, which I like. Sometimes
And he
some
needs
players
to.
need a good kick in the butt.
He needs to, because for his last few seasons, he's had people who have either looked like they were about to quit or have definitely quit. And if it's one thing that we know about Jeff, is that Jeff does not like quitters. You are on
No.
Survivor. You are on Survivor to prove that you are a survivor. You don't come on Survivor to quit. And so I think Jeff is really fed up with that. And he's letting you know, don't come on this island and be no little bitch.
And it's true,
Okay.
man. Because listen, it's a privilege to get out there and play this game, and you're gonna quit. That's ridiculous. People dying to get out there, and you're gonna quit.
I
Don't
know.
waste anybody's time.
Yeah, that's what we say. And I will say this. I think that also, shout out to our Big Brother fandom. Julie's the same way. Julie's definitely becoming more of a savage. I think she's coming back to the
Good.
Julie that she used to be. Because when I used to exit the place, she used to be like, so why were you this? Yeah, so I appreciate it because they need to.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to go on these shows, and there's people out there that would die to play these shows. So it's like you come on there, it can't be like a whatever.
And you got to think about this. This is Jeff's baby.
Yeah.
And you come out and you disrespect his baby, man. That's he takes that personally. And I don't blame him because it is his baby. He's the man.
It's different than Big Brother. This is Jeff's. He's an executive producer. I completely understand Jeff's take and stand when he is, when he's talking to the contestants. Like, hey, and just like he had said to Rome, he said, "I was really surprised that you never wanted a different perspective." And you know what Rome said back, Mike?
I'm afraid.
Rome says, "I don't know if changing anything would have worked."
Would have worked.
How would you know? You never tried.
And that's think about it. That's a scary person to not only be around, that you have to trust.
I wouldn't want to play the game with him because he thinks it's his way or no way.
It's his way or no way, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he does talk to Soul, and when Jeff's talking to Soul, Jeff also says in this moment, he goes, "So it sounds like it was a threat," and Rome's like, "No, Jeff, it was an ultimatum, not a threat."
Yeah, because Saul tells Jeff exactly what happened at camp. He's like, "Well, Jeff, Rome told me tonight if I come in here and I don't give him my shot in the dark, that he has an advantage. He can steal my vote, and he's going to steal my vote and vote me out." And Jeff was like, "Well, that sounds like a threat." And Rome corrects Jeff and goes, "No, it's not a threat. It's an ultimatum." But
right.
Jeff says, well, in his defense, though, Saul, you did write his name down last week. So, I mean, it's kind of, he understood where Rome was coming from, but Saul did say it wasn't necessarily what he said. It was how he said it.
Right. And the truth is, you can argue the point that an ultimatum is almost like a threat anyway. You want to say it's an ultimatum. If I tell you, you either go to that room, Derek, or you go to that room, Derek, and that's it. I'm kind of threatening you. It's an ultimatum. I'm kind of threatening you, saying you have to go one of those rooms. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true. Genevieve, if I'm correct, she gets questioned. Jeff asked her a question, and her question was very explaining, kind of give a hint. Whatever this move is for the sake of my game. I had to think about my game and what's going to get me further, and kind of hinting whoever moves forward with this move or people I want to work with. She was letting Rome know, do not take Sal's vote. You need to take Kashawn's vote. Okay. Then Kashawn is thinking in his head, we're working together. We already know what this is. It is the four. It's he's basically saying it's the four of them. And then Kashawn and Genevieve kind of have a little bit of back and forth a little bit about what needs to happen in a way that is respectful. But I think Kashawn also thinks I'm okay. Everything's fine. Teeny, same thing.
Now, what we didn't say, Mike, is that at camp right before tribal, once Genevieve starts doubting Keyshawn about why he would even say her name, and then she tells Rome that Keyshawn created this plan to get him out, and although Rome decided that he wanted Saul out, they kind of tinker back and forth with the thought of, should we just vote out Keyshawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going into tribe, we really don't have an idea, because Saul is dead set on voting for Rome, and Rome is dead set on voting out Saul. And so Saul says, I have my shot in the dark, and I don't plan on giving it to Rome. And now it's time to vote. And
Rome gets up there. He uses his still the vote.
He stands up right in front of everybody to Jeff and says, Jeff, I am
going to still, because he's I gotta work with people I trust or whatever. He steals Keyshawn's vote.
He stole Keyshawn's vote.
Keyshawn's vote.
So Saul is
what is going on? Yeah.
Saul Teeny is
yep, Teeny don't know what's going on because she made it clear in the tribal she ain't got no vote. So she's like, what's going on?
And Keyshawn is
yeah, shocked. So then Rome goes up there. He gets 2 votes. So he votes how he wants to vote. Then Genevieve goes up there and vote, and then everybody else, and Saul gets up there and vote, and then everybody else don't got no vote. So Teeny and Keyshawn are there. Jeff starts reading the votes, and Keyshawn goes home.
Wow.
Blindside. Straight up blindside.
4 votes.
4 votes. All for Keyshawn. Yes.
That's why I love Survivor. You don't know.
Love it. Never know.
Keyshawn
And I also
was so
love
blindsided. Keyshawn looks at Genevieve, and well, first of all, he sits there, and when Jeff says, however many people voted out of Survivor, next person voted out of Survivor is Keyshawn. Keyshawn says, "That's not how I imagined it."
Yeah.
He couldn't even hold it in. He looked at Genevieve, was like, "I trusted you." He was ready to cry.
Yeah, I felt bad.
It's rough.
It's rough. I believe it. And also, I want to say this. Rome writing, he wrote a key and then wrote Sean.
First of all, when the name was spelled KEYSHAWN, I knew it was wrong. I said, you know damn well his name ain't spelled. And then on this, because he had 2, then he drew a key on the second one.
And then wrote Sean.
He said, I don't know how to spell it, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that's what happened in the episode. It's really sad to see. Yeah, what's your thoughts, Mike? Tell us. What do you think? Do you think it was smart to do that?
First of all, you did a great job describing it because I can't wait to watch it. There's a lot going on in this episode.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Holy crap. I think back to when we first saw you talking about the blood or the pain. That felt like a week ago that you were talking about. That's how much on this episode. I'm like, damn, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's I hate that we ruined the end for you, but
no, listen. Now it's like I find out a score of my Met game. I still watch because I want to see how they got there.
Okay.
Sometimes the journey is better than the result at the end. Yeah. So I can't wait to watch all this. Now that I kind of know what's going to go on, it's going to make me watch certain things better where I don't miss anything.
Okay, good. Let me ask you, Mike. Do you think that Genevieve kind of flipping that vote from Rome to, Keyshawn was smart? Do you think that was a smart move? Do you think?
I think
keeping Rome and keeping Sal.
It's early yet. Listen, it's like we talked about. Sometimes you get you want to keep the people that are making so much noise nobody else can hear you. And if Rome is making a lot of noise, nobody's hearing you, and you get to still lay in the grass and still play a very low key game. But in doing that, the other side of it is that snake that's in the grass that's making all that noise can bite you later on and take you out. Yeah. So it's a hard game to play that way. Do I think it's a good move? We won't know that until we figure out what totally is in their head. What's in the head that what she's thinking about, what she's going to do.
It reminds me, Mike, of what you said earlier about having two people that are going against each other and being able to kind of stay out of the way. Well, just think about it. If on that tribe, the only people who were going back and forth were Rome and Saul. And so if you take one out, then they have to find someone else to target. But if you leave them both there, they're going to just continue coming for each other. So I kind of liked Genevieve's idea.
I think that's a great point.
Saul and kicking Keyshawn out, because Keyshawn, he's safe and he started gaming too.
Right.
And so then he's kind of like, he's like a wild card, whereas she may feel like, I know where Rome is coming from and I know where Saul is coming from and I know who they're going for and it's not me. Keyshawn threw my name out. He wasn't scared of me finding out that he threw my name out. So I'm not mad at it yet, but like you said, we've got to see.
And I'm telling you, Tiff, that's a great point. Sometimes you don't want to get rid of the people that are bickering because they need to find somebody else to bicker with, and you don't want to be that person. Again, laying low. Listen, I always say to get to the merge, you can't stick your neck out because you're going to get it chopped off. So it's best to stay low.
You better lay low.
Yep.
All right, Mike. Well, we're not going to hold you too longer. Okay, so Mike.
No, you guys are great.
thank you so much for joining us. Could you let everybody know where where to follow you?
Yeah,
Are you
what are your
taking any
socials?
special trips coming up? I know you're always on the go.
Yes,
Anything
well, you can find me at Hoboken Mike T on my Instagram, Turnerator on X, and that's it. And I'm actually going to I'm going to Honduras in November. We're going to Honduras to help build houses. And I went to Nicaragua last year, and now I'm going to Honduras to do it. And you
Are
want to
you
talk
doing
about
that?
life?
Joseph does that from Big Brother. Did you know
Yes.
that?
No, I just talked to Joseph, and they're going to Honduras right before us.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
wow.
And the thing is, like, every time you think you have it rough and you go to these places where you see, like, literally, they have nothing, you say, you're grateful, and you want to. These are life-changing events that I'm very fortunate that I'm able to do. Now, I've always wanted to do this. Like, it's like, I wish I can learn where a mission, because I want to go to a mission, I want to help people. But, the truth is, it's harder to find than you really think, because you don't even know where to begin to look to do that. Well, Survivor has opened up these doors for me that, honestly, it's amazing, and it's life-changing, because you get a chance, and just through this whatever you want to call I am, like this quasi-celebrity kind of thing, where I get to go out and do these special things, from helping the homeless shelter in Hoboken, to raising money for the food pantry, to going to Nicaragua, and then to Honduras. We went to Santo Domingo last year, and we went into Santo Domingo, and we went into Haiti and gave them their first fire truck and taught them how to use it. It was amazing just to see these people with their eyes, like they've never even seen anything like that. They have nothing.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
That's
It's
amazing,
amazing.
and that's great. And I'm so glad you said that, just so people know, like you said, like we people complain every day, like like you said, when you see stuff like that, it really wakes you up and realize.
right. In Nicaragua, they literally
Yeah.
lived in a garbage dump. Now, when I say
Oh
they
my
live in a
God.
dump. No, I'm not talking about like you live in a dump. I'm talking they literally live in the garbage dump, where the towns come to bring their garbage, and they live there, and they have no houses. And they're
That's
raising
really
little
sad.
kids, and we got a chance to go there and build like 13 houses for them. And the first time, forget about running water. It's the first time they had something
A
covered
roof.
above them so that they didn't
Oh.
get rained on. It's amazing, and you look at them, and they're just so innocent, and they don't. The truth is, they don't know any better. That there is better,
Yeah.
and you go ahead and you give them this. It's just you see the difference in their faces, and they have you see the hope.
I love that.
So,
'Cause
and
I think that-
I'm
and I
humbled
love
by
that
it
you guys
all.
are
It's
doing it.
amazing.
Good. And I'm glad you guys are doing that, because I think a lot of people don't know, just because we have a platform, we're also, doing stuff to give back. That's always important. So, Mike, if there's anywhere that people can donate or anything, please let us know so we can, spread the
If you
word
follow me on
also.
Instagram, I post it all the time. And and you're saying that, I think all of us that have this platform through reality TV, we all in some way give back by helping out others. We all do it. Everybody does it. It's just not me. I see it. Like you said, Joseph's doing it. Jonathan does it. Xander does it. Everybody does it. So it's an amazing thing to give back, and just quite frankly help people that are less fortunate than us.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I love that.
Mike, what's your Twitter again? Your ex?
Turnerator, Turner. Now listen, that's crazy, because it's going to show my age. I have an AOL email. It's Turnerator AOL, and Turnerator is because I love the Terminator movie back in 1984. So instead of Turner, I said Turnerator. I'm like, I'm the Turnerator, and so that's been with me ever since. And that's why it's Turnerater.
I love that.
Turnerater. I don't know how to spell.
People get it wrong. Nerater.
She's trying to find it on Twitter right now.
That should be it on Twitter. Yeah.
I'm so special right now.
listen.
Turner.
Ater. And it might be even Hoboken Mike. Check Hoboken, because I think I have two.
Why is it saying Dan Turner? That ain't you.
That ain't me. Try Hoboken Mike T on X. My daughter. Listen, the truth is,
You don't
6
use
years
it.
old. Yeah, I don't go on Twitter that much. I love Instagram.
Then
and
I'm
Facebook.
not following you on
Facebook is for us
Twitter.
old people.
I love that. Oh, also, Mike, I know you didn't mention tonight, you were also fighter, right? Am I
Yes.
correct about that? So
Yes.
yeah, you did mention that, and I think that's really important because I know
Thank
you have definitely helped others and everything. And Mike, I appreciate you coming on here. I appreciate you sharing
Thank
your
you, Derek.
experience, and we would love to have you back in the future.
Anytime.
I can't wait to see you. I can't wait for Tiff to meet you because I mean, actually, like, party with you and have a good time because man, you are a good time. So
I love having a good time, man. It's fun. And listen, this world is great, and as you know, the reality world is a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. Everybody. Listen, you really don't meet any mean people out there.
Yeah.
You know, from the reality world, we just
Yeah.
we understand we're all the same.
yeah.
We do understand. Listen, that is true. Like, we are all the same. I even look like my friend groups. It's like not everybody has this personality, and some people are like this, some people are like that. And you can get with your friend groups, and I'll feel like, oh, I need to chill out because my personality be going all out the room. But then when I get with other people from the reality TV community, I can be as big as I want because there's somebody that's even more gregarious than me.
Right.
So it's like I always feel so comfortable being myself because we just all are these huge gregarious personalities, and
and I love it. I gotta be. I love it. I love. That's why I love hanging out with Derek because Derek's a huge personality. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I also want to say this to kind of piggyback on what Tiff was saying. I also want to say shout out to the fans because the fans, like, literally, we do all the stuff we do, the recaps, the showing up for events, the everything. Without you guys, we wouldn't have the stuff that we have, the platforms and all that, and being able to spread the word. And yeah, Tiff, you're right. Like, I think about it. I'd be with my friends. I'd be like, all right, let me just chill out. And they're like, why is Derek so quiet? He's not like that. I'm like, I just feel like when I'm with the reality stars, I feel like sometimes it's like comforting to hear somebody else be the. And I'm like, wait, not me.
Yeah,
Let me
you're
just
right.
sit back and sip on my cocktail.
Yep.
So I got to figure out when you guys are going to see each other. I'm going to try to get Tiff to go to the basketball event next year.
Basketball event. Listen, and that's another thing. We get to raise money for scholarships for Hispanic people. It's amazing. It's, stuff that we do. And like you meet the people that are getting these scholarships. And, Jesus does a great job with it. So
he does.
It's a lot of fun.
He does.
Yeah. I look forward to us getting together.
Me too. Okay, well, Tiff, any last minute thoughts?
Nope. I'm going to get out of here.
Okay. Mike, any last minute thoughts?
No. Life is good, man. Enjoy it. And listen, one thing to say. Nice is free. Give it out.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Nice.
All right, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe and comment, and we will see you guys soon.
Yeah.
Bye.